This is based on a real case from 1951, when a woman was found almost entirely incinerated in her own home. Yet her surroundings were barely touched by fire, and what remained of her was so unnatural, even the investigators were disturbed. They found Mary Reeser's foot still wearing a slipper. That was all. The rest of her was gone, burned to ash in her armchair in a small apartment in St. Petersburg, Florida. Not a crime scene. Not an accident. Just an absence. She'd been sitting there, late at night, alone, and something, somehow, had reduced her to fragments. The floor underneath the chair was scorched, but the walls, fine. A stack of newspapers nearby, untouched. A nearby candle, still whole. Nothing else in the room had burned, just her. There was no explosion, no accelerant, no evidence of a fire that moved. Just intense heat, focused on one point, her body, and the strange, silent fact that it left the rest of her life completely intact. No one could understand it. They still don't. The FBI said it was likely a cigarette, that she had fallen asleep while smoking, that her nightgown had caught fire, and her own body fat fueled the rest. They called it the wick effect, like she was a human candle. But that explanation left things out. Like how her bones were reduced to ash, something crematoriums need hours and thousands of degrees to do. Or how the doorknob to her apartment was too hot to touch, but her sheets down the hall were still cool. Or how, just before it happened, Mary wrote a letter to her son. In it, she said she was feeling strange lately. Heavy, slowed down, as if something was pressing on her chest whenever she tried to sleep. She said she was sweating constantly, even in the air conditioning. She said her fingers were tingling. She said she felt watched. When her landlady tried to open the door that morning, she touched the knob and burned her hand. She called the police. When they finally broke in, they expected to find a kitchen fire. Maybe an oven left on. Instead, they found a pile of ashes in an otherwise clean, untouched room, and a single foot. There are others, you know. Cases no one talks about. Quiet stories, local rumors, people found reduced to nothing in places where nothing else burned. Sometimes it's an apartment. Sometimes it's a car. One was in a tent during a camping trip. Another was a recliner, still upright, still positioned toward the TV. Always the same, the body is nearly gone, and the fire doesn't spread, just consumes. If you ask firefighters, some of them know. They've seen it once, maybe twice. They don't talk about it much, but some will say the same thing, under their breath, almost joking. It's not the fire that finds them, it's whatever was already inside, waiting. And they'll say one more thing, almost every time. It always starts with the heat, the sweating, the heaviness, the tingling. Are you warm right now? Are your fingers buzzing? Check your chair, feel the air, because it doesn't always leave a foot.